It is April 2026. For the past 2 months, the United States and Israel have waged a total destruction bombing campaign against Iran. The political rhetoric driving the assault is absolute. The president openly promised to hit the country so hard it would be brought back to the Stone Age. To the public, the continuous barrage of airstrikes is presented as a terrifying display of absolute American military supremacy. But look closely at this conceptual balance sheet. If we open the imperial ledger, the actual math contradicts the televised spectacle. Examining these numbers reveals a different reality. This ledger suggests that behind the terrifying display of force is a financial strain that the Treasury cannot sustain. On the military side of the ledger, the baseline operating cost of the campaign has hit $500 million a day. Yet, against a supposedly obliterated Iranian military, the U.S. is taking massive asymmetric losses. That includes combat-ready F-15 Eagles that cost $115 million each to replace. They are also losing A-10 Thunderbolts, stacking nearly $19 million per aircraft onto the daily burn rate. This chart illustrates the rapid drop in munitions. In less than 2 months, the U.S. entirely depleted its active arsenal of precision smart bombs, Tomahawks, THAADs, and Patriot missiles. With precision weapons exhausted, the military shifted tactics. They abandoned strategic targeting to drop gravity bombs on civilian infrastructure, obliterating everything from the world's largest pistachio export warehouses to local schools. Despite the destruction, Iran has survived. Its core military structure, the Republican Guard, remains largely intact, along with its uranium stockpile and nuclear research facilities. This graph tracks the economic blowback since the airstrikes began on February 28th. While U.S. strategic gains fall flat, Iranian daily oil revenues actually double. A campaign that exhausts a precision arsenal and doubles the enemy's oil revenue has effectively financed its own strategic decline. Pivot to the domestic ledger. We have to ask how the American public is subsidizing a Pentagon budget set to spike to $1.6 trillion. Politicians repeatedly claim the government lacks the resources to cover daycare, Medicare, or Medicaid, while writing endless blank checks for overseas conflict. This chart reveals the extortion. For the cancer drug Herceptin, UK patients pay $1,360, while Americans are charged $6,819. The pattern holds. The arthritis drug Enbrel costs $1,000 in Germany, but surges past $6,200 in the US. Basic living expenses show the exact same strain. In West Virginia, the heart of King Coal, average monthly utility bills now cost more than mortgage payments. The macro reality is stark. According to recent bankruptcy surveys, the majority of Americans are currently living just 3 months away from total financial collapse. While households face collapse, the $1.6 trillion budget flows toward a narrow set of beneficiaries. In the weeks leading up to the strikes, brokers for high-ranking defense officials were already exploring multi-million-dollar investments in military-focused funds. The budget reveals a structural choice. The resources for life-saving medicine and stable utilities are being redirected to bankroll the destruction of foreign infrastructure. Stepping back from the raw data, the 2026 war on Iran stands clearly as a symptom rather than an isolated foreign policy error. The systematic leveling of civilian infrastructure is a familiar reflex. Historically, declining empires lash out, burning down rival capitals in desperate, violent displays of raw power. Leaders who can casually order the annihilation of distant communities operate without moral restraint at home. War crimes abroad and domestic immiseration are 2 sides of the exact same imperial coin. The system that justifies spending $1 billion a week to drop explosives into a desert is the identical system forcing its citizens to choose between buying medicine and keeping their homes. Whether the bombs land overseas or the treasury empties out at home, it is always the public paying the ultimate price for an empire's hubris.